ceiling, guttering and painting, as well as incomplete toilets whose construction was only left at slab level. Further concerned that the Nyandarua County government in the year 2017 constructed a permanent ECD classroom at Nairobi Village in Karagweni sublocation, but unfortunately the said classroom developed cracks from all sides even before the public could make use of it. The cracks in the classrooms eventually widened to a point that the classrooms became a health hazard, not only to the pupils but to the society. The classroom was ultimately condemned in 2019 after concerns were raised by the residents, and since then the pupils have been undertaking their learning in a nearby church in the said village. Arising from the foregoing, I seek the Chairperson Committee on Education, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services does provide the following information within 14 days. A complete report on the ECD classrooms and toilet in Kwajora Primary School detailing the following information. 1. Why it was left unfinished and toilet left at the slab level. B. Whether there are any proposed solution or strategies to expedite the completion of the incomplete classrooms and toilet in the same school. And number 2, the plans that are in place to remove the substandard Nairobi ECD permanent classroom that was constructed in 2017 and condemned in 2019, and if so, an outline of mechanisms that have been set out to mitigate such wastage of public funds. Number 3, whether the Department of Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services has plans to build a new standard classroom in Nairobi Village for the pupils to ensure that they get a conducive learning environment as envisioned in the Early Childhood Education Act of 2021. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this statement has come out from very many consultations with the department. We have visited the area several times for the period of 2 years now. The public has written and summoned the department. Personally, I have received several letters from the head teacher of Kwajora Primary with the photos, several letters. A letter was brought to my office last year. Another one has been brought to my office this year as a reminder of what is happening and the children are suffering, especially at this time of cold. The department has visited the Nairobi ECD classroom, and as we speak, the class is sinking. What do we do? The class was condemned. Nothing is happening since 2017 to date. Mr. Speaker, I wish that the Committee on Education would act on this immediately and provide the requisite information. Not only information, we need those classrooms constructed, and we need to know what happened. Was the money not enough for the construction of those classrooms? And if there was money, then what happened? If there was no money, what are the plans to make sure that our people get dignity when they go to school? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek this statement. Thank you.
Very well. The statement is due resort. I refer the statement.
Honorable Speaker.
Committee. Oh, yes.
Honorable Speaker, before.
Yes, Honorable Zachary Jero, member for Nyakeo, proceed.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, before you give directions, and I think it is procedurally right. In furtherance to what Mheshimiwa is seeking, I want to do a rejoinder pertaining Wanyambo ECD and toilet, a project that was started the year 2019-2020, and to date, Honorable Speaker, it is back and forth from the department. There was a budget to that effect. The class was done halfway up to the lintel. Pertaining the toilet, only the pit was dug, Honorable Speaker, and to date, the department have not provided any information or any intervention on what they want to go about it. So, if I'm around, Honorable Speaker, and through your discretion, let this be a rejoinder as they tackle the issue of Karagoini. They do tackle the issue of Ronyabo ECD and toilet, so that we can be able now to deal with the issue conclusively. Thank you.
The statement and the
point of information, Honorable Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Kayani?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Oh, let me catch my breath. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add another dam to the statement regarding some unfinished business that was supposed to started in the Five Ward, and that when this report is being provided, as asked or requested by Honorable Milka, that other ECDs in the Five that was never completed or done, and that they were provided for in the budget, could also be looked into, and that report is tabled to this Honorable House. If you find it fitting, Honorable Speaker, it's an amendment to that statement. In this regard, I look into the ECD called Koinange in the Five Ward. ECD in Nyakio Primary School in the Five Ward, Nyakio Ward, also to be looked into and joined in that report, as well as ECD in Dodua Primary School, where trenches were dug and the work was never taken beyond that point. Seek your indulgence for the inclusion of that information as an addendum to the very good report sought by Honorable Milka. Thank you.
Very well. The statement and the addendums are well sought. I refer the statement to the Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services for consideration and reporting back to the House. Chairperson, how many days do you need to respond? Honorable Steve.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. We were in consultation with the Vice Chair, because our Chair is just within doing some official duties. Mr. Speaker, this is according to Honorable Milka. She was seeking a response within 14 days. And this morning, I was actually telling Honorable Maria, it's an issue that was on our business as a committee, and we would humbly request Honorable Milka and those who have sought this statement to just allow us some more 16 days from the 14 days that they've requested, since we have one pending business that Mr. Speaker, sir, is in the table of our committee, and within 30 days we shall be able to bring back a report to this Honorable House, since it's a matter that was on the discussion this morning, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Bomirka, maybe you can respond to that, because there must be a reason why you sought it within 14 days.
Mr. Speaker, previously, this issue was not an urgent issue. Bearing in mind that letters have been written to the department, we already know the situation. They have visited the department, the ECDs. Therefore, initially was not a matter of urgency. But the moment we seek this statement in this assembly, it has to become a matter of emergency, because they are not following what is it that we are requesting informally. And that is why I decided that this statement comes to this assembly, so that we give them a deadline of 14 days. They have the information. It is in their office. They have the photos that were sent by the principals of the schools. And so, therefore, there is no more information they are seeking. They only need to respond to the statement within the 14 days, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Steve, in consideration of that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm in agreement with Honorable Milka. But, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is in public domain, and it is well known in this Honorable House that this committee had a vetting process, that we did vetting of alcoholic drink board, and we did vet 24 members, Mr. Speaker, sir. That's the report that we are writing because it's a report that has timeline, Mr. Speaker, sir, and it has guidelines. So we are humbly seeking as a committee just an addition of 14 days, Mr. Speaker, sir, and within that duration, we shall have tabled this report in this honorable house. Thank you.
That cuts it to 28 days from 30. You have sought 14 more.
Point of further information, Honorable Speaker.
We were seeking 30 days, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Pokayeni.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are into the supplementary budget making process season, and time is of essence. If this matter will need to be considered within the budget, supplementary budget. And I grant the fact that the committee is busy. If they are not in a position to provide this report as asked by Honorable Mayoka, can they consider asking another committee to take up the matter and be able to provide that information within the timeline that the Honorable Mayoka and myself are asking for that information? Because I grant they appear to be overwhelmed with the work already they have, so that this matter is dealt with. And in this case, probably ask the committee on finance to probably take up the matter and provide this house with the information. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, in consideration of the urgency of the matter and the importance in of the statement sought, and noting that the people concerned are our children, who should be herded in ultimate care, I direct that the Committee on Education bring the report, albeit the not comprehensive, so that we can have the report first and then know the progress. So I direct that 14 days are sufficient to bring the report. And then we move on from there. Clerk, next order.
Order number 8, motions and bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a motion to be moved by Honorable Daniel Gitaundongo, the Chairperson, Committee on Delegated County Legislations.
Honorable Daniel Gitaundongo, Chairperson, Committee on Delegated County Legislations, and the member for Kara Ward. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that House does adopt of the report of the Committee of Delegated County Legislation on statement of sort of by Honorable Ibrahim Maina on status of submission of gazetted order the County Assembly as the report of the House recommendation therein as the solution of this House. Mr. Speaker, last time I have read the response, now I read the recommendation. Mr. Speaker, based on the finding, the committee recommendation of the following. Number 1, that within 60 days, the CCM Finance does it the order amended Annexure 2 Schedule of Trading Center within Nyandarua County of the Nyandarua County Finance Act 2024 and submit the same to the Assembly to approve in publication to the same. The CCM of Finance shall be guided by the provision of the Statutory Instruments Act 2013 within regard of public participation and relevant contribution before making stationary instruments. Number 2, the CCM Labs Physical Planning and Urban Development does within 7 days, submit the cassette notice transfer of function to the Orokarau, Engineer, and Maironya municipality. Number 3, that within 7 days, the county secretary does submit a list of the cassette notice and other statutory instruments that by the county since August 2022 within indication of those sent of the assembly for approval or noting. And the date sent. Number 4, that within 30 days, the cabinet does appoint a task force to establish signatory on resources of allocation between the response department on municipality, which will be enable the municipality to carry out of their functions. Number 5, that the county attorney summoned appear before the Committee on General Oversight on matter pertaining his advice to the cabinet in the making submission of the statutory instruments and other matter before the committee. Mr. Speaker, conclusion. The Committee on Delegated County Legislation have seriously reviewed the compliance of the various departments with statutory requirements for the publication and submission of regulation and other statutory instruments. The committee has urged with the concerned department and office to ascertain the status of compliance and has provided clear recommendation to ratify the identified shortcoming. The committee was expected to respond to the assembly and inquire regarding to the compliance of departments with the legal requirement for assessment and submission statutory instruments. In filing the mandate, the committee has identified non-compliance department sought explanation for the lapse and outline special action to ensure compliance. This effort aimed to uphold to rule and law, ensure that the statutory instruments are proper proceed, submit and subject to the requirements oversight by the Assembly. The committee remains committed to monitoring the implementation of this recommendation and will be continued to uphold the relevant departments accountable and ensure that principles of good governance, transparency, and accountability to uphold. We urge the Assembly to adopt the report and support the proposed measures to strengthen compliance with statutory requirements. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I propose Honorable Patient Maga to second.
Honorable Patience Manga.
I second.
The motion is duly moved and seconded. I propose the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Delegated County Legislation on the statement sought by Honorable Ibrahim Mwangi Maina on status of submission of the gazetted orders to the County Assembly as a report of this House and the recommendations therein as the resolutions of this House. Honorable Stephen Muridi, Matimu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I want to support this motion, and like we mentioned last week, we really want to thank this committee because of the good work that they've done, and especially to the issues to do with municipalities in our county, Mr. Speaker, sir. I think it is our high time to empower the municipalities and ensure that they function independently as the law stipulates. we were able to gazette the other two municipalities, Engineer and Mairoinya, and Olkalau has been in existence. But the functions of these counties, Mr. Speaker, sir, as the report has been read, has been domiciled in the Lands Department. I think it's high time that the timeline set by the committee on delegated powers, Mr. Speaker, sir, to ensure that within those timelines that have been set, by the time we shall be coming back from recess, we shall get the gazetted functions of the three municipalities. Also, Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Secretary will submit the list of the gazette notices, which also the committee has given timelines. I think, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is like we agreed going forward. We should ensure that whatever is passed by this Honorable House in terms of resolutions is adhered to and it's followed to the letter. Because what we do each and every day that we come to this Honorable House is to ensure that the county functions well, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support the proposals and looking forward to a report that from the implementation committee to ensure that all these recommendations from the committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, is adhered to, and I believe through your guidance, the implementation committee will be reporting to this Honorable House on the implementation status of the recommendations from this committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Mirka Wajiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I rise first to thank the committee on the progress that they have made on the municipalities and the recommendations thereof. I was informally discussing with Honorable Matimu because I was not, I couldn't clearly understand about the recommendation. But he told me that when the motion was tabled, Mr. Speaker, I was out on official duty. Therefore, I was not able to go through the report. But because I'm a fast learner, I've gone through the recommendations and I want to give my recommendation and give my input, Mr. Speaker. The municipalities are very, very critical tool in the development of county government. We have seen in other counties where they have major municipalities, we have seen the growth in those counties. Mr. Speaker, for a very long time, we have been having only one municipality, but last year we were able to get two more municipalities, which I would say that one, yes, would receive funding, but the other one is not receiving funding. So therefore I say we only have two municipalities in this county. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the recommendations here are very, very, very critical, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because we have both the municipality boards, we have the managers, and we have other staff in office, Mr. Speaker, for those municipalities. And I give an example of the Mairoinya municipality, for example. We have the board, and we have also the manager, and we have the team that is working under that municipality, Mr. Speaker. When finally these recommendations are met, these people will clearly understand their mandate. They will clearly understand what is the work of a municipal manager, what they are supposed to do as per the gazettements. The board will also understand what is it that they are supposed to do as per the government, the gazettement. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, right now we're still having push and pull on who to handle what. For example, the issues of garbage collection. This falls squarely under the municipality. But you'll still find the members of the same municipalities are the ones complaining that there is garbage in certain areas. Yet, it is their responsibility. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this gazettement of these instruments and functions will clearly stipulate what the county government is supposed to do and what the municipalities are supposed to do, Mr. Speaker. So then I would say within the 60 days that have been provided, we will 60 days, and I'll see others 30 days. We'll really appreciate. And also the empowerment of our boards, Mr. Speaker. These members need to know they were appointed. What is it? What work are they doing? It needs to be clear in the gazettement so that we remove the confusion between the manager, between the board, between what. Because there was another day I was following the social media. Mostly I don't go to social media, but there was a time I went to social media and found some very, very bitter exchanges between some board members and a manager somewhere. If these people clearly understand their mandate, such exchange will not happen, Mr. Speaker. So therefore, I wish the department would fast track this and ensure that the board know what is it that they are supposed to do, the manager understands what they are supposed to do, and each one of them maintain their lane, and we will have peace and prosperity in Nyandarua County if they clearly understand what is it that they are supposed to do, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, without this gazettement, there will be confusion in this county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
You may call the mover to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I thought there would be more comments, but I call the mover.
It's the observation I had that maybe the members are comfortable with it, and there was no other member to contribute. So, Honorable Daniel Itaudungo, proceed and respond to those comments and move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The committee will be look on it, and thank you every member for contribution. Thank you.
I now put the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Delegated County Legislation on the statement sought by Honorable Ibrahim Mangi Maina on status of submission of the gazetted orders to the County Assembly as a report of this House and the recommendations therein as the resolutions of this House. May those of a similar opinion say aye. May those of the contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we've exhausted the business as indicated in the morning session's order paper.
Honorable members, there being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Wednesday, the 21st day of August 2024 at 2:30 p.m.